Good morning, everybody. Guess who's running amok? That's Miss Lily. What you got, Miss Lily? So little by little over the past week, I've been opening the door to give the kittens a chance to start mingling. Um, that's Mama Maggie right there, and that's Daisy and Lilly. They have by far been the most adventurous. They have been running all over the place and absolutely having a ball. The other three, even though the door is open, they pretty much stay in their room anyway. Some of them will come out as far as my bedroom. And that's about it. But Willow is having a whole bunch of fun because he gets to play with everybody now. And Chunk has even been playing with Lily. Believe it or not, he's starting to not be so terrified of everybody. He's doing better. There's Marigold. Marigold's out. Okay, good job. Okay, Chunky. Chunk still gets overwhelmed and hisses. But after a little bit, he starts to play too, so I think he's going to be okay. So basically, Hyacinth and Gus are still a little too scared to actually leave the room. If they do leave the room, they don't go any further than my bedroom. And then that's it. So I have the barrier that I put together that I'm going to put down at the end of the hall here. So I can make sure that they don't get any further than the end of the hallway. Because I don't want them... The only place I'm really afraid to let them yet, because they're still small, is the kitchen. Because there's a lot of stuff they could get under and get hurt on. You know, I don't want them going under the stove or behind the refrigerator or in under the drip tray of the refrigerator where the motor, you know, that kind of stuff. I don't want them getting into that. And I think they're too big now to get in any place really dangerous. But you know how cats are. They can squish themselves up and get almost anywhere. So I'm using a little bit of extra caution there. But everybody is doing really good. They're all having a ball. What you think, Miss Daisy? There's everybody. There's everybody. There's Miss Daisy. And there goes Miss Lily. Miss Lily is like a streak. Where'd she go? She's gone. Don't look, Ethel. She's the streak. I don't know where she went. And that's Gus and Hyacinth are playing. There's Marigold. Chunk is in the tent. And he is warming up to them very slowly. He's getting there. Right, Will? Say he's getting there. Let me come in and sit down on the chair so we can see everybody and what they're doing. There goes Marigold. And there's Mama. And that black piece on the floor is apparently I have an old set of speakers, like old school speakers for a desktop PC. And they broke the screen off the face of the speaker. And that is today's favorite toy. So I'm like, well, you know, that's fine. I examined it. There's no small parts that could break off. It's just a mesh metal piece. So if they get a kick out of smacking it around, whatever. What are you doing, Mama? I do notice Maggie's being a very good mama. She is monitoring all play. You'll hear her yelling in the background from time to time. That's her meowing. And she watches them. If they go beyond a certain point, she yells and they come back. So she's actually being very good. She really is. What are you doing, Will? Who are you playing with? Are you playing with a kitten or did you corner Sylvester? It's hard to tell sometimes. Oh, it was Miss Hyacinth you cornered. Say, it's okay, Miss Hyacinth. It's Chunk and Willow. You're okay. And there's Gus Gus. Gus Gus is okay too. He's getting so big now. Yeah. What you guys think? So we've been doing this in the mornings before I go to work. What I've been doing is letting them run amok while I clean their room and while I get their breakfast ready. So it's been about maybe 15 to 30 minutes in the mornings. And that's been working pretty good. And then in the evenings, the same thing. So I figure today's a weekend. And I don't have to go anywhere until closer to lunchtime today. So I'm not rushing out the door. So I figure I'll give them some extra time to run around and play. Yeah, right, Mama? Get them good and tired out. What do you think? Since you've ripped up my carpet there. Yeah, I do have plans eventually to... there's Gus Gus. I do have plans eventually to get rid of all the carpeting here. At least definitely in this room. Possibly in the hallway in the living room. And replace it with some kind of a hard surface. Either like a vinyl tile or a vinyl plank. You know, they have all these really cool things out there now that looks like hardwood, but it's not hardwood. And I think that can take the abuse of cleaning up after animals. Because these guys are mess generators. Right. 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 Say you guys are experts at making messes. Are you playing with Uncle Will, Daisy? Yeah, Daisy's playing with Uncle Willow. I think Uncle Willow likes your toy more than you do. What you guys think? You gonna go out and explore a little bit? You gonna go have some fun? You can go have fun. No one's gonna hurt you. You're okay. Mama and I will watch you. There you go. Yeah. It's okay. Gus and Hyacinth are very shy. Oh, Gus was like, nope, fuck that. What do you think, Miss Hyacinth? Tenderly stepping over the threshold. There you go. You gonna go hang out in my room for a while? It's okay. It's Uncle Will. You're okay. He's not gonna hurt. I think Hyacinth is gonna be good if she can be in a household where she's the only cat. Right, baby? She's gonna be, I think, one of those rare occurrences. Usually kittens are good adopted in pairs, but Hyacinth kind of stays off to herself a lot. She does hang out with Gus Gus, so maybe I can keep her and Gus Gus together. I had originally thought, wouldn't it be cute if somebody wants to adopt a pair of calico kittens? Because they're both calicos, they're sisters, but they don't really get along so good with each other. So I'm like, well, I guess not. But she does get along good with Gus. Right, Gus Gus? Gus Gus says, I like Sister Hyacinth. Yeah, Gus Gus likes you. You like Gus. So these guys are both the very shy ones of the group. They play good with each other, but they're so shy around other people. So I've got some vacation time coming up, finally, at work. Not next week, but the week after. And I'm going to try to get my mother over here. Because I want to see how they react to a stranger, somebody they've never met before. Because at this point, I'm still the only human they've had contact with, because there's nobody else here but me. So for months, the only person they've ever seen has been me. So I want to try to bring in some other people, bring in my mom. And then I thought eventually maybe I can invite one of my coworkers has a son that loves cats. And I thought about maybe inviting her to bring him and see if he wants to play with them for a while. Just to see how they react. Because ideally, they have so much energy. They really need to be with somebody that can engage and interact with them constantly. Or very, very frequently anyway. And I am limited to, an hour before I go to work and a couple of hours when I come home. And then I'm off having to do everything else I have to do. So that's the one drawback when you've got kittens is when you're working all the time and you're an adult and you don't have anybody else around, it's difficult because they really should be interacting with more people, but it's just not possible during the week anyway. So, but I'm hoping when I have some vacation time, I will be able to get some of that accomplished anyway. Maybe get some exposure to them of other people, other things. And then we'll see how it goes. Oh, there's Miss Hyacinth. And we'll see how it goes. Hopefully they will respond well. And they'll be able to find forever homes. Chunky's silly, huh? See, Uncle Chunk is a silly head. He's afraid of somebody half his size. Because he's a doofus. And there's Uncle Sylvester. Sylvester's actually been pretty good. Right, kiddo? Say, hard to believe you're going to be 3? Or 4 now. 3. I think 3 years old. I have to go back and look. I know Sylvester was, we call the birth date July 28th. Because my neighbor brought him over, when was that? It was in August sometime. He knocked on my door at like 9 o'clock at night, and I was like, what the hell is this guy doing here at 9 o'clock at night? And he handed me this muddy, messed up little kitten. Then that was Sylvester, who was covered in mud and nasty, and apparently he was getting ready to go away for the weekend, and he moved his kayak, and Sylvester fell out. And apparently, we don't know if Mama abandoned or what, but Sylvester was older. He didn't have his umbilical cord anymore. He was starting to open his eyes, so he had to be at least probably 10 days, 2 weeks, something like that. But my neighbor had said he put him down next to where the kayak was, thinking the mama cat would come by, and he left them there for like 2 hours. And nobody ever showed back up. And he felt bad because it was pouring down rain, and he's like, this kitten is sitting in the rain in the mud crying, and nobody's there, and he's like, I can't stand it anymore. I've got to do something. And of course he didn't know what to do, but he knows I'm a crazy cat lady, so he brought him over to me. And Sylvester's the one that I wound up bottle feeding. And but it was good. Sylvester turned out to be quite a character. We don't know if it's almost like, if I had to put something on it, it's almost like a cat with anxiety disorder. Which I don't know if it could be something related to. I mean, the vet says he's fine. But it could be something related to the trauma of what he went through when he was a baby. It could be related to maybe didn't get very good nourishment, because I don't know how long he was sitting there before I got to start bottle feeding him. But he's a little bit nutty. You know, he's kind of a Jekyll and Hyde. One second he loves you, and the next second he might tear your face off. But he doesn't like Willow so much. Willow likes to pick on him, and he gets very upset by Willow. And when he gets overly stressed out, he sits in a corner and he just beats the hell out of his own tail. And that's just what he does. And it's not like a playing, because I was talking to the vet about it. And the vet was like, oh, he's probably playing. Cats chase their own tails, you know. And I'm like, no, this is not playing. He like snarls and really beats the hell out of his own tail. Like, I've got to get a hold of him and I got to say, Sylvester, it's your own tail. You're fine, you know, because I'm afraid he's going to hurt himself. Because he really smacks the crap out of himself. And he only does it when he's really stressed out. So, I think he's just got some kind of an anxiety situation that happens with him. So I was really shocked when he started engaging with the kittens and playing with them, because I figured he'd freak out and knock the crap out of everybody. But it seems to be helping him, so maybe it's, I don't know, cat therapy. I have no idea. I'm just going to roll with it. As long as no one's getting hurt. I just kind of watch his body language a little closer, you know. I keep an eye on him and Chunk a little closer than the others, because they're the two that seem to lose their cool if they're going to lose their... Well, Sylvester so far hasn't. What are you doing, Chunky Monkey? Chunky Monkey! What's up, shithead? Oh, who you see? You gonna go get her? Now you be nice to Miss Hyacinth. She's scared already, okay? Everybody's playing in the hall bathroom. That's their new place of entertainment. What you think, Gus? You're so cute. You're so cute. Say, what am I going to do with you guys? You're adorable, but you can't stay here forever. Because that would add the total up to 17, and that is ridiculously crazy. Say, that's nuts. I'm not going to turn into one of those ladies you see on the news who had 50 cats in her house. That's not going to happen to me. I hate to burst your bubble. I love you guys, but I don't love you that much. That's crazy. You know, if I didn't know any better... Daisy looks suspiciously like Chunk, but Chunk was nowhere near Maggie when she got pregnant. And Chunk is neutered, so... I wonder, though. It's odd. Because I think... When did I get Chunk neutered? I have to go back and check my records. I know Willow got neutered I think May 1st was when Willow was neutered. Chunk was in the beginning of April. Yeah, it might be possible if he got a hold of Maggie. I don't think he did, though. I don't remember him really being around her. But I can't rule it out 100%. I just think it's odd that Daisy is almost like a replica of Chunk. It's like, were you up to something before I had you neutered, boy? Because that's awfully suspicious. But then again, it could have been whoever it was outside that was responsible for Chunk. Yeah. So, right, Chunky Monkey, you and Daisy might be siblings. She might be your stepsister. Or half-sister, or whatever you want to call it. Yep. So it could be whoever was responsible for Chunk is also responsible for Daisy. And I'm sorry for all the background noise that's happening, but today is apparently a bad day for trying to film a slightly soft-spoken video, because every time I've turned my camera on, there's either been a dump truck going by or a helicopter, or there's one guy that lives a little ways over from where I live, that has a big farm, and he's got one of those, I don't know what the hell you call them, not really a paraglider, I guess. It's got like a motor with wheels on a chassis, but it's got wings, and he basically takes off like a little mini airplane, and it's got these big cool multicolored wings. It almost looks like a beach umbrella. It's kind of like, I guess, a paraglider, maybe you could call it. I don't know. And he just kind of, every now and then, he goes up and he flies around early in the morning. And sometimes in the evening around sunset, he'll fly around, I guess, and get pictures of the sunset and stuff from up there. And it's really cool, but it kind of sounds like a great big lawnmower motor. It's what it reminds me of. It sounds like some kind of a cross between a lawnmower and a motorcycle when it's flying. And, of course, he doesn't go very high. I mean, he's high enough. He's above trees and rooftops and stuff like that. But he's not as high as like a commercial airplane would be. Or a small airplane even. You know, he doesn't go, he only goes, I don't know how many feet, 100 feet up. But how many hundreds of feet, I don't know. But it's never high enough. I mean, he's low enough that you could see the details of the whatever it is that he's flying, you know, and he's always got his goggles and his helmet on, so he's safe, whoever he is. But it's pretty cool, but it's also very noisy, so sometimes you're trying to enjoy a nice, quiet weekend morning, you know, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna lay in bed and enjoy myself, and then you hear this, sounds like a motorboat going over your roof. It's like, oh, okay, never mind. I'll just get up and make my coffee. But it's still pretty cool. I mean, you know, I'm afraid of heights, so there's no way in hell I would ever get in something like that, but I'm sure the view is very nice from up there. Right, Mama? Say yes. That's one thing you will never see this little chubby chick doing, right? Say we do not leave the ground. No, no, no. My fear of heights is so bad, I can't even get on a ladder. I mean, I can, if it's a step ladder, I can. Like, I can change, about the highest I can go, I can change a light bulb in the ceiling. Like, if that light bulb burns out, I have to go and get my mom's ladder, because my ladder, I'm too short. Even if I stand on the top rung, I can't reach it. So I have to go get my mom's ladder, which is a bigger ladder. Right, Gus? But, that's about the max of what I can do. Even then, when I'm reaching up, if I have to let go of the handle on the ladder to reach up to undo the screws to take the globe off the glass, I'm like sweating and having a damn near panic attack about it. It's, yeah, it's not good. So I have anxiety attacks after getting on a step ladder. So me getting on some kind of paraglider or anything like that is never going to happen. I have, where I work, my boss, the CEO of the company, is also a pilot. And he can fly helicopters. He's qualified on helicopters and small aircraft, like propeller. I think the one he has now is like a jet prop or something. I don't know. But he has forever been trying to get me to go up in the plane with him or get in the helicopter. And I'm like, no way, dude. No way. See, this little fat girl's feet don't leave the ground, right, guys? There goes Marigold. Are you going to get out and have fun, Gus, or are you just going to stay here and be scared? What you doing, Chunky? Chunky and Marigold were just chasing each other. They like to run back and forth under my bed in there. So. Was you having fun? You was? See, it's too bad my house is falling apart. We'll get that fixed when we get rid of some of these cats, huh? Don't worry, you're not in the group that's going to be getting rid of. Poor Gus Gus. I am tempted to keep you, Gus Gus. But I need another cat like I need a hole in the head. Say 12 is too many. We really can't have more than 12 unless we unload some. But you can't just unload them because they're my buddies, That's the part that sucks, I think, more than anything else is... Honestly, the only ones I wouldn't mind not having anymore would be Miss Austen, because she's not friendly at all. So I'm going to try to catch her and get her spayed. And then my coworker has a farm and might have use for a couple of barn cats. So I might see when I get Miss Austen and Miss Maggie spayed if they'll go out onto the farm where my coworker is. I was thinking about relocating Phoebe out there too, because Phoebe is a sweetheart. I hate to lose her because she is sweet. But she just doesn't want to be inside. I mean, it can be 3 degrees outside, man. And she's like, nope, I want to be outside. Right, Mr. Alex? Oh, Alex is a little upset now. But yeah, Phoebe wants to be outside all the time. So I thought about maybe if I relocate Phoebe, Maggie, and Austin, maybe I can get all of them out to the farm, and then that'll be 3 less than what I'm dealing with now. And then I can try to figure out what to do with the others. Blackie is a sweetheart, but he likes to be outside a lot too. But I don't know, when he gets older, he might change his mind a little bit. He really liked my mom. My mom and my sister were helping me in the yard last weekend, and I was surprised. For as shy as he is, he immediately went to my mom. But the only problem is my mom lives on the main road, so him going outside at her house is not an option because he will get squished. Too much traffic going by. High-speed traffic, too, so... I don't know. I'll have to figure out if he can get used to being an inside cat. Then, maybe. But I'd have to see if he got along with her other cat first. I'd be more apt to see if Willow liked her. But I don't know. She probably doesn't want any more cats anyway. But the only reason I thought about Willow's also a sweetheart. He's a doll, don't get me wrong. But he picks on everybody. He likes to... He's a shit stirrer, He likes to antagonize and pick on the others, and they get stressed out by him. They've had enough sometimes, to the point where I have to put him in the bathroom by himself so that everybody else in the house has a mental break from him, being a little scutch. So sometimes I'm kind of like, well, I wonder if maybe I ought to try to rehome Willow since he upsets everybody else. But then Willow and Chunk play a lot together, and I don't really want to get rid of Chunk, because Chunk and I have a history, don't we, Chunky Monkey, with all the sinus infections and everything we've been through together. Not only do I love the little bastard, but I also would feel bad handing him off to somebody and be like, hi, here, have a cat who's sick all the time, That's not right to me. I don't like that. If somebody has problems, I try to just keep them and deal with them myself, like Sylvester. He's a beautiful little cat, but I wouldn't dare try to pass him off on somebody because he's a wacko. Yeah. I know how to deal with his wackoness, and nobody else does. But we did have fun, didn't we, guys? We had fun when he was a baby. because I chatted online with a group of friends. The one good thing that came out of the pandemic was I wound up being online with a group of wonderful, wonderful people. And it was nice to make friends, even though you weren't out and about, even though you were kind of stuck in, you still made a group of friends, and they're not as many as they were. There used to be like almost 30 of us that would log into the server and do that. But after a while, everybody went back to real life. But now there's still a group of about 10 of us that catch up every now and then. We pop on there and say hi, and they're really some of the best people that I've ever met, even if I haven't met them in person. They're just a lot of fun. And way back when Sylvester was little is when I was chatting with them, and we used to we'd giggle because I'd put the camera on the laptop, and when the chatting was happening, of course, the words would come up on the bottom of the screen, and Sylvester used to love to watch it happen. He got the biggest kick out of that. So when he was a baby, he used to climb up on my shoulder, and as I was typing and doing what I was doing on the laptop monitor, he would watch everything. And so there are, I think somewhere somebody even has a picture of me standing, sitting typing, and he's sitting on my shoulder. Because that's what he always used to do. He would come up and sit there and watch what everybody was typing and what everybody was doing. Because he's so funny. There they are, running back and forth. Who's that? That's Marigold and Daisy. Now, of course, Sylvester's too big to do that. But, yep. See, Sylvester's too big for that now. But Mama's got Gus is playing with Mama at the top of the kitten cage. It's good to know they're comfortable in there, because I have the door open. I mean, I'm not keeping them in the cage or anything like that, but they're going in there of their own free will, and they're sleeping on the platforms and in the hammock and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, well, it works out kind of nice. So, but anyway, so everybody is doing good, and I just wanted to show that everybody is running playing. And I think everybody likes Uncle Will, right, Uncle Will? Everybody likes you. Yeah. What are you doing, Daisy? Daisy's a kook. There's Miss Hyacinth coming. Got Sylvester in the background. You can hear Chunk's nose whistling. Chunk is playing. Good job, Chunky. See, they're not scary. They like to play. Yeah. I think everybody's going to start getting tired out now. Yeah, they're willingly going up to Mom to lay down now. That's Miss Hyacinth is going up there with Gus and Mama. So I think we'll go ahead and call it a day for them. They've been running around pretty good for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and get their food, get their breakfast ready. And the sound of the can, the pop top on the canned food, is usually enough to draw them from wherever they are. What you guys doing? Miss Daisy just came back in. And we'll get them back inside where they can rest and relax. Yep. But they're having some good adventures now. And so far, so good. I haven't had any major fights, and everybody's hanging out. So a little at a time. We'll let them run amok, for a while, and then get them back in the safety of their room where they can be, back by themselves, back in their familiar environment. And I think a little at a time, everybody will get used to each other. And then we'll be getting them to their vet soon. Because they're old enough now for their shots and spaying and neutering. When I pick them up now, everybody feels like they're at least 3 pounds, if not approaching 4. They're doing really good. So I think they're at a pretty good weight now. So probably by June, the end of June. We're in the beginning of June already now. So I think by the end of June, another couple of weeks, they ought to be more than big enough. Ooh, okay. You're all right. Okay, Gus Gus. Wow, you got all arched up and you were ready for business. Gus Gus says, I'll mess you up, buddy. Okay, you're all right, Gus Gus. Very good. Good job. You showed body language that said, hey, I don't want you here. And he listened. See? Very good. I think Chunky's going to take your tent. Okay, then. Well, let me go get their breakfast, and I'll start rounding everybody up. It's like herding cats. Literally, is herding cats. We'll start rounding everybody up. And get everybody back in the room where they're safe for the day, and then I can go about getting stuff done in the kitchen and everything without worrying about them getting into something. So, I hope all of you guys had a good weekend. I think the weather is a little more calm across the nation now. I think Maryland had some crazy tornadoes. I was surprised. The other night I was looking at the radar for some thunderstorms in our area, and I saw these red boxes in Maryland. There was like 4 or 5 of them, and I'm like, holy crap, are those all tornado warnings? And they were, and I was like, geez, those poor people. And then I saw some videos of these tornadoes that like sprung up and just went crazy there. So Maryland is, I know they get severe weather, but it's not like Kansas and, Oklahoma. You guys and out there are probably just like, it's a summer breeze, it's, what are you talking about? And we're like, we would be freaking out if we had anything stronger than, we've had tornadoes here occasionally, but I think the strongest one that ever came near where I lived was an EF1. And they're very, very short-lived. Like, they're on the ground for 5 minutes, if that. And that's it. So, like I said, people out in Oklahoma and stuff are probably like, that's a summer breeze. What's the matter with you, But I don't know. I don't think the people in Maryland get weather like that very often either. So, I know if it happened here, everybody would be freaking out. So, I don't know if they were freaking out or not. But I wouldn't blame them if they were. Because that was crazy. But I'm hoping it quiets down for everybody now. And then it gets better. I know there's supposed to be a big heat wave, I think, coming out west. So if anybody's out that way, I hope you guys are careful. And anybody who happens to be watching that's international, I hope wherever you are, your weather is good. I can't always see everywhere on the globe. I just happen to notice the forecast for the U.S., but I don't usually expand. What was that thud? Was that you? That was Miss Daisy. Miss Daisy body slammed herself. And they're playing through the... You guys are silly. You guys are silly. There's Gus Gus. What you doing, Gus Gus? But yeah, I don't usually expand the radar to see if I can see all over the world, the globe. I'm going to try that and see. I wonder if it'll show me. I'll have to mess with that. But anyway, wherever you are, I hope everything is okay. And I hope you have a good week coming. And I think that's pretty much it, right? There's no other big holidays coming up. Oh, Juneteenth is coming up, so that's good. That's not next week, but the week after. So I hope everybody has a very safe and happy next week. Okay? And we will see you guys soon. Okay, bye-bye.